Hi, I'm Roxanne Carter, and this is Block 8 of our 2019 Technique Sampler. So on this month, we're going to be learning how to do peeled back patchwork. This is a wonderful way of getting your curved pieces with very little work. So how we're going to do this, there is a lot of pieces in this block, and it is a very time-consuming block, but it's worth it in the end. Okay, so here's our pattern, and this is how we're going to get started. So the very first thing we're going to do is our center square. What we need to do is we need to lay out our four center squares, which is our accent 4, and then we're going to take our accent 3 pieces that are folded in half. So we're going to fold these in half, and so I'll show you that. We're just going to take and fold it on the 45 and press it. Okay, so now we have all four folded in half, and then we're going to lay it out as shown in the diagram. So this one's going to go this way, and this one is going to go here, and then this one here, and then this one here. I found that you can use straight pins, but a real good tip is if you have a glue stick, you can just put a little dot of glue right underneath that block to kind of hold it in place, and that really does work well. And so I do that on each one, just right in the center there, not close to the seam allowance, so we're not getting into the stitching. And just a little bit more there. And there, put some there, and that will hold it in place. You can also pin the ends. So we want to take our straight pins, and you can pin the ends so that they don't move on us. That also helps. So once we get these two blocks done here, this one and this one, then we're going to add our other little accent 1 piece, and that is a 2 by 3.5 inch piece. And those are also, well, these are not folded in half and pressed, because if you do that, I found it's hard to get that crease out. So we're just going to take these pieces and we fold it in half like that. And we place the fold of the fabric into the block. But we line up the two raw edges here and the edge here. And then we're going to put this piece on top, and we're going to sew it down. When we get this folded back, this piece is going to open up into that shape right there. What I like about this method is these two triangles just lay right side by side into each other, and it really makes it nice and flat. There's a lot of bulk in this method, but it does give you a really unique look. So now we open these up and we press this one out like that. And then you can put a little dab of glue on each end after you press it, and that will hold that one down in place. And then the same thing with this one here. And press this one down, and then we're going to do the exact same thing between the two rows here. So that one's going to go there, and this one is going to go here. And so they both point in, and then this piece will go on top, and we sew that, and voila, by magic, we have that done. So this is how we take and fold them out. So all of these were just a rectangle between the pieces. I've got a little glue stick on here to hold them down so you can see how that works. When we get ready to sew these, you can either quilt these down, fold them back and do the peel back when you quilt it, or you can do it now. And so you're just going to roll these back, and with an iron press that down, and roll this one back and press it down. I like to do it when I quilt the blocks, that way I'm not doing it but one time. And so that's how I've done this block here. So you can see they're all been peeled back after it was put together. Okay, so we've done our center part. Now we're going to go on to the outside edges of the center. and that's taking 2 of the accent 1 2x3.5 inch rectangles and folding a background same size piece between it with a fold on the inside, just as I have here. So I've got my 2 pieces of accent 1 with my background. I've sewn it in to the seam here, and then we take and we fold that out and press it. So that is how we do. And it's really very helpful to try and press this seam open. We're getting a lot of layers here, so having to share that bulk on both sides is helpful. Then I'm going to take my little glue slip. This is the Fons and Porter glue stick, but you can use any of the glue sticks that you get at Office Depot or Staples. This one here, I'm going to put a little dot right here, just hold this down, and a little dot right here, and hold that down. And then I'm going to put these 2 on top of each other, just as the sign shows there. And I'm going to sew that, and magically we have it right here. So again, this is how easy this is, and then we're going to just fold that back, press it, and fold that back, and press it. And so they kind of meet in the middle, and you just overlap them, and then you can top stitch that down. Okay, so we get our center all made with our little 3.5 inch background squares in there, and then we're ready to put our first border on. So our first border is the accent 6 piece, and it is the, let's see, these are 2.5 by 12.5. And so we're going to then lay these out, and we put our accent 5 triangles that we folded in half, just like we've done before. They're just a little bit bigger size. We're going to put those down with a piece of the glue stick and put one at this end. Notice that they're going in opposite ends. Then we will sew this to the block, and then we'll do the other side. And then on our top and bottom, we're going to add our little squares, wherever they went. Well, here they are. So those squares are going to go there. And then you're going to do the same thing with our outside border. When we put the side pieces on, this one's going to only get one on one end. This one will get a little piece sewn on there and one on this end. So it follows the pattern on the second page, and that will show you exactly how to put the borders together. So I hope you have fun with this block. I think it's really an interesting block to make, and you really get a lot of wonderful curves with our peeled back patchwork.